Normality in our country, particularly when you have the culture of executive immunity or presidential impunity, we are tempted to feel that such anomalies are the proper thing. There's no provision of the Nigerian Constitution that allows the president or anybody for that matter to remove an elected official. Between 1979 and now, we have close to 20 cases of our courts which have upheld the right of Nigerian people to be governed properly in accordance with the law. In other words, the law is saying that it is illegal on the part of state governors to remove elected chairmen and councillors and replace them with caretaker committees. Under the Constitution, you can only remove a governor by impeachment, by resignation, or on account of ill health. In the case of a legislator, you can only remove him or her by the process of recall. So there's no provision for, or no law has empowered the president to remove a governor. In other words, you might also say that if the country is fighting a war, say with another country, do you ask the president to be removed by the National Assembly so that his sole administrator is appointed for the prosecution of the war? So it is totally what President Obasanjo did in removing governors cannot be justified under the law. But you know, his regime was characterized by executive lawlessness and impunity.
And decide to appoint a few people to help him and all that. They don't now need to be confirmed by anybody and all that. I think that's what it means.
So what will be the role of the National Assembly now following this declaration of emergency?
Well, I think the Constitution says very clearly that the National Assembly will have to approve it.
Right.
Yes, and then, of course, if there's any other regulation that needs to be made or any other thing, according to the Constitution, that's what we will have to do in the National Assembly.
What will that process entail?
Well, the process will be that tomorrow, the Senate President and the Speaker on one side, they will read the proclamation and words, and then we'll ask for...
Will it involve a joint sitting of the two houses?
Usually not.
Right. Because you said the President will sit next to the Speaker.
Yeah, usually not. Joint sittings are done basically when we have to receive the budget. Right. So I think that the deliberations will be different and done. And we'll now see what will happen. I think that eventually we must come to some consensus. No one wants a situation where there is anarchy in the country. Nobody wants that.
But did it look to you like that River State was heading towards anarchy?
I didn't see it. I thought that there was still a window, to fix things. But then
a window for a political settlement.
For a political settlement. Right. I thought that there was still a window, but well, it has happened. We have to deal with it.
Right. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for being very benevolent in your answers, although you were rather cagey in your answers.
The impression it creates is very, very wrong, in my opinion. And I think the president should have been more presidential. Whoever wrote that speech did not do the president any favors at all, because the impression is the person that usually wins has won again.
Did you listen to that? Why is everything that concerns Tinubu, why is it all about war, creating more problems instead of solutions, solving the problems? He's creating more problems. Have you ever seen where they use problem in solving another problems? No, it's not going to work. Using problems to solve another problem is not going to work. You are only creating war, more problems. Look at it this way. Tinubu came into office, unlawfully removed subsidy gone in that inaugural speech without consulting anybody. That one alone has caused a lot of problems, hardship, hunger in this country. Now, then after, he said he wanted to cause war between Nigeria and Niger Republic when the governor, when military took over Niger, military coup in Niger, because we are under ECOWAS. Tinubu being the chairman of ECOWAS when those people, when the military coup took over Bazoum, the democratic elected governor, president there. Now, Tinubu, instead of following due process in solving the issues, in restoring democratic government, he wants to use force to remove military government by giving them ultimatum. Today, what happened? If not with the intervention of God and with other countries, and senior and elderly men in this country, both retired president, and it was the grace of God. Otherwise, Tinubu would have dragged this country into war. And Niger were ready. Imagine military who have been planning for war for how many years? Tinubu has no plan, no structure, no military equipment. He came and he said he wants to declare war between these two countries. Problem, right? Then after, Tinubu unlawfully disconnected their electricity, right? The water, what do you call it? Where we give those people electricity. Problem, unlawfully. Why this man now? Tinubu declaration state of emergency yesterday in Rivers State, unlawfully, creating more problems. This senior man advocate, even if you don't take his word that he doesn't know what he's doing, as people usually say, he said there's no provision for that, for the president to remove sitting governor. Even if you want to do that, these things is not you just wake up and hear that a state has been declared state of emergency. This needs to pass through National Assembly for approval. National Assembly were not aware. It also needs to pass through Senate House. The two committee needs to come together to deliberate, approve it before Tinubu can go ahead and declare state of emergency. The two House of Reps and Senate House are not aware of this. Probably Senate president might be aware because Tinubu, Wike, and Akpabio, three of them are the owner of this country as we speak now. They are the owner. They don't need to consult anybody. They can go ahead and do anything stupid and create more problems. They can do it. Why Tinubu is all about war, violent. That time when you dey small, when you dey fight this dirty fight, you go run through hazard, escape. It never come up for your blood. You don't old now. If you see fight now, you see war, despite the fact that you be president, shey you fit take am. So they no fit do president anything again. Why creating more problems rather than solving the problem? You are creating more problems. Why? That is just the question. Why? National NBA wrote a lengthy letter that Tinubu's declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State is illegal. He said he's illegal. So NBA, our NBA. So who? Nobody were aware of this. Nobody. They never saw it coming. Who wrote that speech for Tinubu? These three of them, Tinubu, Wike, maybe Akpabio, I'm not sure, and the person who wrote the letter, who wrote that speech rather. These people are the one who is aware that a state of emergency was going to be declared in Rivers State. And meanwhile, writing that letter, they have already made plans with all the military. They were all standby there, but nobody knew what was going on. Immediately that declaration, they took over the government house everywhere because they've already planned for it. Is it the best way to go? This tantamount to anarchy in Rivers State. You are not helping, sir. The truth must be told. You are not helping any matter at all. For this declaration, it's not helping. You are creating more problems. Now you now expect this military who took over Rivers State, you expect them to govern for 6 months successfully with peace? No, now. No. Anyways, the action begin until Tinubu revises this suspension if he can do it. Now they said the Senate, the House of Assembly wants to go and deliberate on it. We want to see the action. Nana, Asari Dokubo, your work won't start. All the planning you have been planning since, all the Ijo youth and all of them, all the planning that you guys has been planning, the song that you guys has been singing, it has finally happened. Caught you people unaware. What do you do next? Now we are watching to see the next action. Now, as we speak now, problem in Rivers State. I pray innocent people should not lose their life with this problem. That's just my prayer for you guys in Rivers State. People should be very careful. Don't go out when you are not supposed to, and don't come back late. So I pray innocent people should not lose their lives. Please share this video.